director on Fallout 76.
And I'm Bill LaCoste, production director on 76.
Awesome. Have y'all been doing 76 the whole time, or?
I've been on 76 since day one.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And I got on a little bit before Wastelanders.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
I'm excited here. So obviously, kind of start off really simple. Fallout 76 been out for almost a decade. Why do y'all feel you needed to have fishing now?
So we're actually coming up on our 7th anniversary. And so fishing now, fishing just seems so tonally in sync with a nice summer update. Fishing in the Wasteland felt very, very summery to us. So fishing was something that we'd wanted to do for a while. And we're just kind of looking for the right opportunity on the roadmap and timing-wise to get that out. Having kind of fed our elder players with a bit of content earlier with raids and with the ghoul, we felt that the summer of this year would be a great time to sort of cast a net, if you will, over the entire Wasteland and let people rediscover Appalachia by seeing what they pull out of the waters located all over the map. Because wherever you can swim, you can fish in Fallout 76. So a lot of exploring to do, a lot of fishing, a lot of new fishing spots to discover.
I'm kind of got to wait off of that. Obviously, now the kind of fishing people, you said players were kind of, maybe requesting it before, some of the talkers and everything else. Why do you think people like fishing in games? I mean, obviously Fallout we had it, and I mean, kind of when you think about it, fishing's just kind of sitting there and waiting.
Sure.
So I guess why do you think it's probably a feature that you all want to add, and then obviously players would enjoy?
Well, I mean, as players of 76 ourselves, and lots of other games too, I've always enjoyed fishing in games. I don't know why. I think it's probably because of that sort of explorative, what's around the corner kind of aspect to it, or what, I don't know, just all the mystery surrounding, all the discovery you have to do. Does the time of day affect it? Does the weather affect it? Does the location affect it? So for me, that in games is a lot of fun, and bringing that into 76 just kind of made a lot of sense.
Yeah. And bringing it into the Fallout world itself, it gives us a lot of leeway here. We can go pretty crazy with some of the things you can catch in the game that are radiated. We got glowing fish in there. We've got some local legends you can catch as well. I think the one thing we like to call out too is that this is also one of the only games where you can actually build out your own fishing village and go fishing. You don't. It's not just one little spot, on the map, or 2 spots on the map, or only specific spots. You can fish anywhere there's water, or that you can swim in this game. And so people are now going into the seasons, they're getting all the stuff in the seasons, they're building out fishing camps. People are coming in together as social groups and public teams and just fishing together and enjoying the whole time. And we've got some really good bonuses in there too. If you have a weather station that has a rad storm, that'll increase your chances of getting a glowing fish. If you have a thunderstorm weather station, that'll increase your chances of getting some of the rare fish. So we also have upgrades to the rods themselves, upgrades to bait. We've got normal bait, improved, and superb bait on there too, so that'll increase your chances. So there's just a lot of systems within the game that are intertwined even within our fishing system. And like I said, in the Fallout world, we have so much more to play with than some of the other games too. So.
I kind of a little bit to expand on that. I guess, were there any challenges with any balancing of that, or just basically you're just adding fishing, we don't want to make this too overpowering or something, or bring too much to do, but also keep people engaged and what.
I think the key element of fishing is, a lot of our players are collectors. They like to collect things, and they like to finish those collections up. So that was really the note that we wanted to hit. Not so much granting people power for different things, right? This is kind of it's more of an explorative, adventure-y type feature. So as far as the balance goes, of course we've got our common fish, uncommon fish, rare fish, legendary type fish. And so the balancing act there was finding out what the proper drop rate would be for those under different circumstances and criteria, like what type of fishing setups you have, which mark rod you have, what time of day, what location. So a lot of play testing to sort of feel out what the right values were there. Probably the biggest challenge of balancing. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you all talked about the places you can fish pretty much anywhere where you can swim and everywhere, but I also know there's a good chunk of the map where it's pretty barren. Were there any challenges, or do y'all make any adjustments to maybe accommodate some of these barren areas where there really wasn't any water at all?
No, this is an update for bodies of water.
Okay.
This update. As far as addressing parts of the map that are a little more barren than others, that's for future stuff. Yeah, all bodies of water have been addressed in this update. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm just, sorry. And then I kind of want to talk about like this mystery of the axolotl. Kind of, can you go a little bit more into it? Kind of what it is, how you know, kind of how it works, and then obviously why an axolotl.
You love the axolotl. Go for it.
I am very interested in the axolotl. I'm not sure if I would call it love or fear.
Fear's good.
There's something behind those eyes. It's a little unsettling. Everybody thinks it's cute. I think that's how it pulls you.
Little evil.
So axolotls are like a super rare catch that we've added to the game. Each month a new axolotl unlocks for players to catch. So this month, the inaugural month, the feature I suppose is the banded axolotl. So players hop in and they're lucky enough and they've got a good enough rod and they'll be able to catch the banded axolotl.
And obviously I know you guys talk about building like these camps on the water, being able to different fishing. And maybe I missed it in the thing, but are we getting any type of aquarium?
That's been discussed. We like giving ways for our players to show off things that they've got, things that they've accomplished. So right now you can display your fish on different wall, what do you call it, plaques?
They're displays.
Yeah,
Fish
displays. So, you know, maybe more humanitarian way of displaying live fish would be in the works, but that's definitely been discussed.
Yeah.
Sorry. So obviously this is a nuclear wasteland. What was it like trying to design and basically come up with creatures that you could fish in a nuclear wasteland? Because I'm assuming we're not just going to catch a normal trout. They might have something, you know, a different looking trout per se.
I would just say it was fun. Like you said, in the wasteland, especially with all the radiation, you just have so much more leeway with it. You know, we can come up with some crazy looking fish that have been, you know, nuked hundreds of thousands of times in the game so far. And what's happening in those lakes? Well, this is what's happening in those lakes now. So yeah, you know, we don't have to stick to a lot of the common and regular stuff. And you know, and most people don't want to just fish out a perch.
Right.
You know, they want to see what's in Fallout. They want to get piranha. They want crazy piranha and glowing piranha, and that's what they get. So yeah.
That's the intrigue, right?
Right.
Like when I say anywhere you can swim, you can fish. People familiar with the map know how much water there is on there, and they think, well, I can fish in all these places, and this is Fallout. What am I going to catch? You know, that's part of the intrigue.
Did y'all have a favorite one that you all basically put in the game that like that you can catch?
Wavy Willard.
Okay.
So people will just have to listen to that and figure out where that may be and where you can get it and go after it.
I just don't know. I can't put that together. Where would I find that?
Maybe a water park somewhere? I don't know. But
You need to keep that secret to yourself, Bill. That's fine. I kind of like the axolotls. I think there's a bit more going on there than just a cute fish to catch or cute water-bound being. We'll find out.
It's just wild. Everybody I know loves these axolotls. They're the cutest things, and you're like, no, they're terrifying.
Me, I'm the everyone he knows. Beautiful babies.
We saw the giant shark teeth. I don't know thing, but is that creature anywhere in the game or going to be potentially? Like, I would love to have a giant shark. I mean, I like the teeth, but seeing one of those creatures, especially in a nuclear wasteland, would be fascinating.
Yeah, well, you know, shark are primarily ocean dwellers.
Right.
And so we don't really border the ocean in Appalachia. However, we do in Atlantic City.
Yeah. Awesome.
Maybe someday you'll be able to pull some of those out.
I have a question. So with South of Midnight coming out and investing very heavily in Southern and Appalachian folklore, and you mentioning of legend when you started talking, is Fallout 76 fishing going deep into that really robust Appalachian folklore that comes through and lives a lot of the rivers in the Appalachian Mountains?
yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, everyone knows that we've gone a long way with getting cryptids into the game too, and all the regional stuff. So Wendigos and Sheep Squatch, and so yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of inspiration behind that. So.
Do y'all have a favorite one of that specifically? Tapping into maybe that folklore
that's a good
that folks
question.
may
I
not
don't know if there's a Kanawha piranha that I caught that was, I think pretty close to that. It's pretty gruesome, and I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have anything else?
No, just that one. I love Appalachian folklore. It's great.
Well, honestly, that's all I have for now.
Yeah. I think one other tidbit too is that we also added a whole bunch of new recipes.
Yes.
For the game as well. So you can upgrade your rods as well. You can get Mark II or Mark 1 through Mark 4 rods, wheels on it, which will increase the speed at which you can move around the UI and also the speed at which you catch things. So the rods themselves can also be upgraded through visuals as well. And so being able to chop them up into fish bits too and turn them into Linda-Lee for potentially some legendary rewards.
We would never do that to an axolotl.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
I know. I was like, I gotta make sure of that.
Only
Smiling when you said that, the smile started to melt away. So
we would not chop them up into
don't worry,
bits.
you can, and some people may.
They're too precious
but we
and
never
too rare.
Would.
We would never do that. That's right.
Yeah, we never.
That's
would.
right. But yeah, a lot of stuff in there.
I know, it sounds exciting.
Yes,
I'm
very
excited
much
to
so.
dive in and everything else.
Yes.